one of the bigger changes, if you like, is that the existing Labor government have also come out and announced a limit to purchasing of foreign buyers. So they're putting a ban in place as well for 2 years from the 1st of April 2025. The criteria to enable more first home buyers expected to help 10,000 eligible first home buyers per year over 4 years nationwide to buy a home. Not necessarily suitable for everyone, but you basically partner with the government. They're looking to tinker with the tax rates, reducing the tax rates in the lower brackets by 1% odd. When you look at the difference of what that means and what someone saves, it's like a saving of $268 a year in 26-27, $536 27-28 onwards.
Welcome to Perth Property Insider, where you will learn how to grow your wealth and improve your life using Perth property. Our show is brought to you by Investors Edge Real Estate, the highly rated and award-winning property management, sales and buyers agency servicing the whole of Perth. Now, here's your host, Jared Mann.
G'day and welcome to a bit of a deep dive episode on the 2025 federal budget that's come out by the existing Labor Party. And I'll preempt it by saying there's not too much in there for the way of influencing property and our WA economy, but I do want to run through some of the changes. And when we look at what the opposition might do, they've released some policies already, which I covered in my Perth property market update, so go back and listen to that. And I'm sure now that the election's soon to be announced that they'll be coming out with any further policies. So I might revisit what they've got on the table when that becomes more evident. But to kick things off, one of the bigger changes, if you like, is that the existing Labor government have also come out and announced a limit to purchasing of foreign buyers. So they're putting a ban in place as well for 2 years from the 1st of April 2025 and putting the funding in place to basically enforce it. And that's in line with what the opposition were proposing with their 2-year ban. So they basically both come out now. So we're getting a ban to foreign buyers either way. There is some exceptions to that when they're from New Zealand and when they're a permanent resident, etc. But when I looked up and tried to get some numbers on this, the reporting year hasn't come around for 2025 yet, but the last reporting was done to May of 2024. And across the whole of Australia, there was approximately 5,500 foreign buyers that purchased into the whole of Australia. I can't get stats specifically on WA, spent ages looking. From what I can tell, it's going to be less than 1,000 people, possibly even less than 800 people. When you consider our weekly transactions are 900 to 1,000 here in WA, it's really only going to be less than 1% of our overall purchases that are accounting to foreign buyers. So it's really not going to make any real difference to our market. Yes, it'll make some extra purchases available to locals, which I guess is more of an attention grabber, headline grabber than it is a practical solver of anything. So worth cutting through the mystique around that one. Now let's take a look at what else they've come out with. One of the interesting areas that it's nice to see, some money going towards was that they're going to boost alternative housing construction methods and looking to spend 54 odd million in funding the support to state and territory governments to look at boosting construction of prefab and modular homes. God, this kind of building method's been on the cards for a couple of decades or more. We still haven't really made any real progress from what I can see. The companies that are doing it well are still charging on par with what it costs for double brick and more conventional construction. Their only, benefit is the time that they save to actually put it in place. We need a cost saving as well as a time saving. I don't know if you've seen, but Elon Musk is supposedly or rumored to be working on prefab homes and rolling them out. And I'd be surprised if he didn't, because I think he lives in one at the SpaceX launch site at the moment. So we really need someone to come in and shake it all up. Hopefully government money can help cut the red tape and make this easier while maintaining quality. They did set aside $4.7 million to speed up approvals and try to maintain the quality of prefab and modular homes. So, wait and see if this is going to bring about any real other solutions to housing. One of the other things that was notable, they already have their good old shared equity scheme. And now they've just basically tinkered with the criteria to enable more first home buyers to access it. It's expected to help 10,000 eligible first home buyers per year over 4 years nationwide to buy a home. Not necessarily suitable for everyone, but you basically partner with the government. They have a shared equity stake. In WA, they've increased the criteria from a 600K median house price to what I think is quite a reasonable level at 850,000 now. So that's going to certainly allow more people to get into it. And they're looking at increasing it from 450 to 600,000 for regional areas of WA. So definitely going to allow more people to get in. You just need a deposit of 2% and the government will be your partner, and you can look to refinance them out down the track, or when the property's sold, pay them out. So I think that is going to change things, help a lot of first home buyers. It was already on the table, it was already there, but I think the changing criteria is going to make things more possible.
Just real quick before we continue on with the episode, are you getting my email updates yet? If you're not, you're missing out on our suburb intelligence reports, which we tailor and prepare for your individual suburbs of interest, showing advanced stats and insights. Must get onto those. And I also send out exclusive invitations to our events, including webinars, sundowners, and workshops. So if you're not getting those, head on over to investorsedge.com.au/join and make sure you're receiving my email updates.
Yeah, the key one for that is the income caps. They're changing that from 90,000 for an individual to 100,000. So you still have to be on relatively low income for individuals. And they're changing it from 120 to 160 for couples. So I think that's fairly reasonable. A reasonable change on the couple side still enables you as a household to earn up to 160,000 and still get access to it. So that is a fairly standout policy. I'm just looking to my other monitor at the moment to see. No, there was nothing really similar that the coalition government is offering. They've got their superannuation access scheme that they're rolling out, but you're really borrowing from your future to pay for the present. Still not a bad option if they do get elected. So watch this space to see if the coalition do release any other major policies for housing to kind of tackle things further. But it seems like Labor, to me, is addressing housing and the affordability-ness and social housing far more than the Liberal National Coalition is at this stage. So we've got that expanding help for first home buyers with shared equity. We touched on the banning of foreign buyers. We've got that boosting of alternative housing construction methods. I don't really want to go back over social housing, which was already allocated. That's far more than they're looking to spend 10 billion odd for 18,000 affordable homes for social housing. Liberal National Coalition don't have anything of that sort. And they seem to be addressing homelessness far more than the Liberal National Coalition. So finally, some of the other little cost of living things that would help the average person here in WA is that the government's looking to, from 1st of July, for every household and small businesses to receive $150 in energy rebates. So that's going, I guess, to helping that cost of living. And they're looking to tinker with the tax rates ever so slightly. So reducing the tax rates in the lower brackets by 1% odd. When you look at the difference of what that means and what someone saves, it's really only like a saving of $268 a year in 26-27, $536 27-28 onwards. So nothing too much to get excited about. Now, some of the other sort of headline grabbing things that the existing Labor government are looking to do is looking to tackle the expanded bulk billing. So broader eligibility for a lot of bulk billing incentives. That's sort of likely to be popular with the older generation, and cheaper medicines with putting more medicines on the Pharmaceutical Benefits Scheme, PBS. So all of these things, in summary, are actually adding up to us having, as a nation, our first projected deficit for the 24-25 financial year. So we all have to appreciate that promises, whatever they are, have to be paid for. And just because one government makes more promises than the current opposition, what's the better choice? So it's looking like being a deficit of 27.6 billion according to the budget, which is 1% of GDP. So they are really trying to spend the extra money to buy the extra votes going into this election. And when they're tinkering with some of these things like Medicare funding, modest little tiny tax cuts, they're trying to get little wins in different areas. And it'll be interesting to see if the coalition decide to match any of that, or whether they're going to keep a more modest budget as they've done with our state election. But as we saw with the state election, it wasn't enough to get anyone excited enough to swing more votes their way. So sort of still, from my perspective anyway, lacking a really big vision that people can get excited about and buy into. But that's just my take. Love to hear your thoughts on the political landscape. And if you've got any thoughts or questions, do post on the YouTube video and throw that around a bit together. And if there's anything else notable, I can bring it to you in a future episode. Hopefully this has been insightful, if not exciting. And I look forward to coming back to you in the next episode. If you've enjoyed it, do like and share it with friends and post a review. I do love hearing from all my listeners. And if you're not already a member, head on over to Perth Property Investment Facebook group and feel free to post your questions in there for me and any of the other members. In the meantime, I will be doing another FAQ episode coming up ahead and featuring another suburb with an inside view. That seemed to be pretty popular back in a few episodes ago. So check that out if you haven't listened to that last Q&A with the inside view on Rockingham. Thanks for tuning in, and catch you again soon. Bye.
Just a reminder that the information discussed in this podcast is general in nature. As we don't know your specific situation, you should always seek professional advice before taking any action. For free market reports on your suburbs of interest and other helpful resources to grow your wealth, make sure you join my property investor update at investorsedge.com.au/join. And finally, make sure you're a member of our Perth Property Investment Facebook group to be part of the conversation with other like-minded investors, get help to your questions, and get a feel for what's going on out there in the market. I'll see you in the group.